Who cares about being late? Ah. Right then, so EXFL T1 season 12, T1 round 5, Qatar of course. Qatar International Circuit, probably one of the more high-speed circuits on the calendar. Very demanding on the tyres, as you saw in Tier 2 yesterday out. I can't remember who won. It was Adam in a Haas, and basically just aim the game, don't get punctures. And yeah, well, looking back at who they've set their laps currently, it's JJ, of course, always at the top. Seems to be the way of the season, with a solid gap between him and EXFL Norris, 5/10. But a lot of people haven't done that rankings yet, including Samuel Drake Lee, Cody, Boyzo, who's actually on his lap right now, just having a bit of snap, and front axle just not complaining, gets a bit of a slipstream, but from the Mercedes, who very reluctant to get out of the way though. And another issue with Qatar, you use a lot of your battery through this lap, and it makes it a bit weird to try and find where you want to use your ERS. With the Alpine uses it well, doesn't shift down to 6th, carries speed through, pretty much keeps it flat the entire way, puts it into 4th, gets on the pile nicely. Red has now joined as Moiso across the line. He will go P8 with a 22.2. So Joshua is pretty second off the grid. The reigning champion, I'll make that more because Cody's just, I think he's on his lap this time though. I don't actually know. So that was not the line. He's also in the wrong car, I believe, because he shouldn't. Red's just joined, and what the? He's almost just taken out poor Stelios. I am very confused. Real head's got you here, because the championship leader, former championship leader, because it's now in the hands of Frankie, who's just actually starting his lap, so I'll ride aboard with the Ferrari instead. As we're riding aboard with the Ferrari, keeps in 5th, gets the power down nicely, uses baby ERS in the exit. There's a decent turn 1, turn 2. Tries to hold the line, we'll downshift it to 6th, we'll cut as much of the track as he can, we'll keep in as pretty much full throttle, pretty much aiming for the inside curb. And then we go into this hairpin, really easy to get on the power, keeps it into 3rd as he just rises slightly uphill off cambered corner, and then we got a really long and unnatural winding corner as you get hit with a massive curb that could always catch you out track limits. A nice little flat right, pretty much irrelevant in these F1 cars, as cuts a lot of the inside curb on the pretty much one of the final corners on this lap until you get to the main point of the entire circuit. The triple right-hander, you got the I think that's the Sale Stadium to your left, left, it is left. Then pretty much a very flat, challenging left-hander, can always really close to invalidation in your laps there. But final corner, we'll just carry through a bit of speed. We'll catch you on the outside curb, can always catch you at the throttle or drive limits. But across the lines, a 27 puts a 10th between him and JJ, who is on an outlap, so he will next to do his. Yeah, we also have, I think it's Red Fat Tiger's actually gone into Red Bull instead. So we will have Red Bull versus Ferrari versus pretty much McLaren fight. A lot of weird stories about Cody to that. So apparently one, he was told to go into Red Bull, and 2, he's not driving. So very confused, but just gonna brush over it. Gonna watch Samuel Drake Lee flying through the middle sector. Gonna carry a lot of speed. We'll get a nice little toe in the small run up into the triple right-hander, as you want to pretty much narrow your line as making sure it's a full sweeping corner rather than just dag, turn, dag, turn. Keeps it well. Has a lot of battery to use running up to the line. We'll use pretty much all of it here. Doesn't have enough ERS to carry with it though. But keeps it in 4th. And he will put all of his power down. And he just invalidates actually on the final corner. So that would have been a 29, would have put him P3 just ahead of the McLaren and Jaden. Or F1 Union. EXFL Norris though, he is 3 temps up actually. This could slot him into the fight for the top 10 as he does run wide. The game kind of lenient to get his take that lap away. As JG actually goes to the top again, putting another 10th between him and Frankie. Time's really starting to come down now. And now we got EXFL Norris. Oh, a bit of a snap. Front wheel just doesn't want to complain. He doesn't actually invalidate his lap, as the front tyres did overheat at the end and just loses a bit of front end grip. And he could maybe have kept that lap. He possibly could have lost a lot of time, lost all of it at that final corner. Whether, yeah, I think he could have went on. I think he could have carried on with that. Who's on a lap? Will is invalid on a lap. I think Sam's invalid. Red Fire Tiger is on a lap, although different uniform for the Red Bull today. Well, for the Mercedes today. Very Max Verstappen-esque, just doing inverted career choice as Red Fire Tiger invalidates his first lap of the day. And he is also in the 2nd Red Bull seat, so however cursed that might be, yeah, I know. Will he finish his lap to see what he would do? Or will he just peel in? He will just peel in, and I mean, possible restart just to get those two switched. But fairly confused. The words of Logan Kelly. Just thought I'd highlight that. As pretty much everyone will be on their laps the final lap. Or on fucking hell. Will be on track for their final laps. There you go. No, I'm fine, thanks. Just wait as... Don't know what that means. That symbol. Symbol next to Oren's car with a grey fuel. Wizo and Josh have apparently ran out of fuel in the pit then. And Oren's just got that fuel. Anyway, Stelios will be the first to actually start his lap. He's been quite consistent, just in the bottom half of the top 10 usually for Stelios. They're one of the newer drivers in Tier 1 this season. He is actually the highest of the new ones, but if you're including Logan as new or returning. And then, well, new drivers are, well, Stelios, Logan, Sam, well, Logan returning, Sam, we would have drifting, and, well, Josh as well, and drifting, but drifting's not here as well. We also have Wizo returning this season, so there's a lot of new drivers, new faces. Well, 5 rounds in, they're kind of dwelling back into their tier, and kind of the rust of this game is starting to come off, and some drivers are starting to pick up the pace where others were struggling early on. There's a yellow flag. I think that's just people trying to get some space between everyone else, so they've all seemed to like come out right in front of each other. As there's a pretty much a 3-car train for the very little spot between Oren, I think that's Frankie and Will? I believe so. Yes. However, I'll hop on board with Stelios just to get his lap done. As with the Greek in the Cyber, number 82 will start his final flying lap and the first of the last runnings, as Cody's in the pit lane at least. So, Stelios, riding into turn 1, you want to break it approximately the hut just before the 50-meter board, as he just does it there. Keeps it in 4, will ride the orange curve on the inside, gets a nice little slingshot exit. Will turn in just after the 50-meter board, will wait a bit longer. As gets the power down nicely, will keep him 5th and uses a lot of his battery here. This is me straight, and then we get, just as the curve ends, you want to turn in as you cut the corner to the perfection, riding all of the curve you need. As a brilliant sector 1 from Stelios, is pretty much a 10th up. It is purple sector 1 apparently. It is a great lap from the Sauber so far though, as we ride this very odd and catching out right-hander. As it does take it really nicely though, rides the curve to its full extent. Easy right-hander. Logan has retired in his lap, must have been valid there somewhat. As now Stelios, well, we get the second time point delta of the lap, heading into the triple right-hander. He's now just over 1.5 temps up. Or under 1.5 temps up as he cuts all the track. This is a great lap from Stelios right now. Not challenging pole, but definitely going to put him in the question for a top 3 start maybe. It is a great lap from Stelios. Could push him up higher up in the grid. We'll get on the power really nicely, use those good slingshot. We'll use all those batteries charged up to perfection. It's a 21.3 P5 for Stelios. So it just couldn't challenge the top 3, but 4 times off. It's a great lap from Stelios. As now we will hop, I think it's Oren? It is, no, it's not Oren, it's JJ. Is it? Who is that? Boizo, there we go. It's really hard on so many teams want to use a blue livery this season. Alright, anyway, Boizo across the line. Will he beat Stelios' lap time? He goes P8. Now I believe it's Josh Hewitt. No, not Josh Hewitt. It's Redfire Tiger. He goes 12th. No, did he? 8th, 9th. That's a horrible lap from Red. As I think Samuel Drake Lee invalid on his final lap, so he will start last. I think that was F1 Union just being his McLaren teammate. Got Orono, I believe, goes up to P8 as Frankie couldn't improve, I believe. He just keeps it into P2. And JJ slots in a faster time, a 25. That is your final lap and the final order of your session. JJ will get pole at the very death. He kept the pole. Anyway, but that lap just signifying the dominance he had in that session. But there you go, JJ from Frankie, F1 Union, F1 Nico. Stelios with a great qualifying P5, ahead of EXFL Norris, Oren, Logan, Woizo and Redfire Tiger, not great qualifying for the championship contender. And winner of 2 races this season as well. Sam, P11, Joshua P12, Tier 2 champion. EXFL Senna, P13, Pro Cody, P14 after not setting a lap, but then Samuel Jokley, P15, not being able to set a lap time on the board. Yes, we will be restarting. With the fun of a restart, we can have fun. Oh, holy shit, I'm in a car. This is new. Well, hey. I'm EXFL Senna's teammate. Might be a bit quicker than his counterpart. If anyone's actually in the session, you'll have some fun. I don't think everyone's leaving, actually. I just want to have a drive, you know? A Saturday drive. If everyone doesn't leave, I actually want to get some laps on the board, yeah. I think my hopes and dreams are slowly fading. I just want to have a lap. Nope. It's a childhood dream being in the EXFL Tier 1. Just gonna do donuts while I wait for Jane to invite me. This is the highlight of the stream right here. Right. So just catch up to these two. Got their left as well. Right then. Just oh, don't want to leave the session, but yeah, literally just gotta wait for the grid to be reformed. Hopefully anything caught the grid, because aha! There you go. And we rode back into the lobby. Actually, while I'm here, what I'm going to do quickly is... There you go. Testing the overlay. Live streaming. Options. Bang. Bang. Setting testing. Always fun. Anyway, finally not going to drive myself crazy, and we actually get to go back onto the grid after a very delayed restart. As now, another thing with Qatar, as I think I mentioned earlier, is tyre wear is probably the worst at this track than it is at any other track on the calendar. Some people might try the 3-stop might be in the option here, but after seeing last night, punctures are very likely after having so many in that final couple of laps. So just be on the lookout for those final couple of laps in tyre wear. I believe hards only go 13 laps, or at 14 and 15 hour push. So definitely expect there to be a lot of tyre managing in the early half of this race. Probably won't see the softs or a safety car because of how spaced out and wide the track is. And this is a formation lap, of course. Let's check the tyres. We got, yeah, pretty much the entire grid on hards except for Stelios, Will, and Sam. Right, that is, it don't work at Qatar. I like to just do it just to have a little peace and quiet before the race, but it don't work when your camera is that far spaced out. I don't want to see 5 corners behind me. I just want to see the car. What do you need to zoom out for? Anyway, apart from the very spaced out and kind of horrible cameras. Put a telemetry on as well. See if anyone's decided to run lower fuel. I don't know if it'll actually allow me to see. Josh Hewitt tyres on the formation lap. Probably got hit. And yeah, it doesn't show me, but fuel is another thing. Like, this track is pretty much so what's it called? So dangerous in terms of not damaging a car, which is really awkward thing to say, but it charges your tyres and your fuel, and definitely your skill because of how track limits are so strict around here. As you saw with Samuel Drake Lee, who didn't even get a chance to set his final lap. However, we line up to the grid. JJ angling his car very aggressively to the right hand side to cover off the championship leader in Frankie. You know, F1 Union. Then we got F1 Nico, the McLaren pair, staring down the two Brits in the Williams and Ferrari. And we've got, well, still tired, probably missed his breaking point, but EXFL Norris, Oren, actually his best qualifying of the year. Logan, let's fly back up to the top though, because can't get through the grid in time. However, here's the start. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and we're racing at Qatar. It looks to be a better start from the Ferrari, from Frankie, but JJ does cover off well. Going to turn around, he will cover off the inside, which allows Frankie to try and survive on the outside. He just won't get the exit. He will try to switch back though, so he will have the outside line for the second half, but no, McLaren stay firm. I think that's nicking ahead of Jane into P3, and Stillers holds firm in P5. Get a bit of side-by-side action of Oren and EXFL Norris there. Will Oren decide to go down the inside of the Mercedes? He isn't far enough alongside. He's got a bit of a wheel-to-wheel action back there. The Alpines together as Josh Hewitt will go inside through the inside of Will, side-by-side into the double right-hander. Will has to go off the track, and the Red Bull just holds on to the position. Logan's fallen off a lot of places, as JJ's has got a lead though. Let's get the tyre away. Let's put that on 2. Where's there you go. Well, yeah, he's gained a second already on Frankie. Yeah, really showing its effects. And yeah, Nico did get ahead of his teammate there. Great start from the McLaren drivers. Well, making sure they keep their position. Stelios still holding on. He's actually really close to the back of Jaden. And he is on the mediums though, so he will have the better tyre advantage for the start of the stint, as Frankie does shrink the gap back into 9/10. So, yeah, pretty much JJ holding on the lead, is floating around a second to Frankie already. Pretty much the gaps are that spaced out pretty much the entire grid. Red back in his car, actually goes all the way up to P6. So actually Red Fire Tiger who was battling with Oren, not EXFL Norris, who actually had a much worse start. Actually, where did Red start? Red started 10th, yeah, that was a great start from the Ferrari. Speaking of the other, not Ferrari, the Mercedes. Speaking of the Ferrari, he is challenging Oren, using those mediums to good work. Oren goes to the inside, will be a victim of the switchback though. Great move from Samuel Lee. Oren does fight it though, he will keep it side by side. Williams vs Ferrari might be the same to come for JJ and Frankie, as Samuel Lee right around the outside gets a bit of a wheel snap, or the rear end loss, as Oren will use that to advantage, tries to go back down the outside. Samuel Lee to the inside, will just run him out of the road and just gets the power down nicely. And the EXFL is kind of lurking in the background there, trying to pick up the scraps, but Oren stays firm. And I think Sam got past Woizo as well, not the start both Alpine pair wanted. Will is actually keeping up with them both, as he actually got back past Josh Hewitt. And now he's looking like he's a bit more of a victim to Logan, who had the worst start of the bunch from I believe P8 to P14. And Frankie using that slipstream and a lot more ERS to his advantage, I believe, as he will get DRS to start this lap, but you might see another change to the lead. Nico just keeping in it. A great run of form for the McLaren right now, and he's looking to get his, I think, third podium in a row. No, not third podium in a row, the second podium in a row, but definitely the third top 5 in a row. I believe he got P4 last time out. Whether as Nico does keep DRS, as the leaders, actually Frankie's decided not to do it. I think JJ just had enough ERS to just hold off, but Frankie just kind of reluctant to even go down inside. So there's Logan making a move on Josh Hewitt. I believe Sam letting his teammate past, as a double side-by-side action here of Oren and EXFL Norris. Oh, a bit of a argy-bargy from the Mercedes, letting the, trying to barge his way past the Williams. Oren has to play victim and just see the position, as same as Sam. Both the ex-Tier 2 championship contenders, both finished second in the championship actually. And both having to back out their moves against quite experienced Tier 1 drivers. Former champion in EXFL Norris and Season 1 runner-up in the Woizo. As fly right back to the top of the order though, we follow up to the second. Well, we'll just catch on to the second time here into the only DRS zone on the track. JJ has a 2/10 advantage over Woizo right now. It's not looking good if he wants to keep that lead. He has got EXFL, he has got ERS advantage, as EXFL Norris gets a 3-second penalty already. So and Cole Tyres possibly playing victim to him there. That's not what the Mercedes needs, but Samuel Lee's had a great start. Actually, he's managed to catch back up to the Mercedes of Red, who doesn't have DRS. JJ will try and defend from Frankie though. Frankie's used his DRS. Both of them don't want to go for the move here. Frankie very reluctant to get that move done. Probably just wants to save fuels. Josh Hewitt has retired in the pit lane already. Not the the EXFL season the Tier 2 champion would like. Yeah, Frankie just not wanting to take that lead right now. Quite hesitant to do it. However, the other Ferrari did get past Red Fire Tiger, who does seem to be struggling on pace, however. So both Mercedes Mercedes, that's a new one. The Mercedes are looking weak, as it has been quite a rare statement to say in the entire season. I think Senna not the first to get a penalty today, which is quite the achievement. But he has fallen out of DRS from Sam, so that will probably end up being here. Oh dear. Very good Lance Stroll impression there from Will Barnett. I believe he was, I don't know, Tier 2 champion. A lot of Tier 2 champions, that's good. My headset's having a horrible time. We've got 1, 2, 3. 3 champions, 2 runners-up in Tier 2. Right, going back on the stretch to see what Frankie does here. Will he will get the second penalty on 1 lap? That's an outstanding feat. Yeah, Frankie just doesn't have the ERS to even make the move viable. Yeah, Samuel Elite had a fast lap race. He's putting those mediums to much better uses. Will probably going to throw the flag in early. As Woizo going side by side with Oren. Oren having a much worse start now. He's falling victim to other drivers. I think that's Stelios going round. He has. I think that's Stelios just kicking up the rear at the the second corner, and he was looking at a great race in the Sauber, and now he has just fallen right down to 12th. He's only 1.6 off Logan, but he has probably flat started those mediums badly, so not what he needed. And it's put Samuel Lee up to P5 though, so last to 5th already. Looking like he has great pace when he's keeping on track. Well, he has now got the McLaren pair, who've been quite smart keeping their DRS with each other, and it will probably be much harder for him to keep past his Red Fire Tiger now gets a penalty. Both Mercedes now have penalties, and they're only ones with a 3 second. So that would put them at currently 10th and 11th. No, 9th and 10th. That's what it would be, as it stands at least. I think. Maybe not. EXFL would definitely be 11th. But it's only that 5 out of 29, so you've still got pretty much over 3 quarters left. Yeah, just not enough ERS for Frankie. He will use all of his ERS here. He will go to the inside, and Ferrari to the lead on lap 6. He's been buying his time. He hasn't had the ERS to make the move. He finally decides to use all of it he had, and finally takes the lead on lap 6 of the Qatar Grand Prix. Frankie to the lead. JJ doesn't have the run on him to fight it. Doesn't even the gap's too big enough for Nico to even think about it either. But yeah, decent little move. Definitely didn't lose enough time. But Salvage Lee already flying almost immediately into the DRS of F1 Union. 1.2 fluctuating between Logan gets a penalty. Yeah, the gap's also shrunk or gained from him. Stelios, I think that was just the time updating himself. It's just sad to see from Stelios. He had such a great start and such a great qualifying too. His lap was brilliant, and yeah, just P12 now. It's definitely not what he wanted. Right back up to the just passing that lovely, beautiful stadium to the right hand side. Or left hand side, isn't it? Yeah. I'm horrible with my directions today. However, JJ has a bit more ERS to use than Frankie. I think he used more on this lap. Frankie had more this lap. Well, Frankie had less this last lap when he got past JJ, so probably might have another change to the lead. JJ will use a bit of his ERS here. Will save a bit for the end of the straight. If he does, a lot of drivers opting to use that outside line. More, remember, just riding half on the track, half off the track. It's how bumpy that the straight line is. Logan now retires, so 11 finishes in this race already. His Red Fire gets another penalty. The Mercedes is really struggling in track limits here. I believe 3-time champion as well. It's just not been the race he wants already. Tied in Saudi Arabia, now 6 seconds up heads at Qatar. It's going away from this championship. Frankie still holds the lead as well, so even now it would be, I think he would lose, where did it go down to 7? I think 6 points. He'd be losing 19 points to Frankie again. Constantly losing big chunks. Frankie gained 25 in him last week because he won in Jeddah. Yeah, he did win in Jeddah. However, though, JJ and Frankie both actually have gained a significant amount of battery, and the one hanging out in 4th has actually got the worst ERS, which has been an issue for Jaden throughout the season. However, though, get back onto the final straight. Both have a lot of ERS to use, so we'll see if they actually both start blasting it. They both do. Frankie decides to hit his on a bit later, so he'll have a bit more to use on the end of the straight. Samuel Lee pits on ready. Those mediums are ready till the end of their life. As JJ will try on the outside, Frankie will hold the inside line as Ferrari keeps the lead ahead of the Williams driver, as it doesn't even invite F1 Nico. F1 Nico still holding back. He doesn't have the driver take the lead, as Samuel Lee almost runs into the back of Oren, who's actually keeping with Woizo now. So I think he's made a mistake somewhere, because I definitely don't see how he's lost that much time to Red Fire Tiger. He's actually made a swap with his teammate now, so he's definitely struggling in the right car this time, really. Hanging back, keeping his ERS high, and just trying to keep with it, the Ferrari ahead of him. 10 sights on that P1 again. Hasn't won this season yet, I believe. He's been literally as close as you can be, I believe, as at Suzuka. Getting a penalty in that last lap cost him the win. Oh, well, the chance to get a win. That's a track limit one in there. Yeah, I believe he's had I want to say 3 poles at least this season. He got pole at Australia. He got pole. 2 was Japan. I believe he did get pole at Japan as well. It could have been F1 Unions, but I don't know. yeah, a lot of drivers liking this exciting because how bumpy the straight is. They're opting to just use off track, and it's a weird thing to say, but off track is smoother than on track. And it was Mercedes just doing another swap and a non-organised team swap. Though Oren getting past Woizo. Just do a little up check on how quick Samuel Jack Lee is going on those mediums. Obviously, yeah, you can't actually see what he's saying. Sam gets a warning in P9. Has a 6-second buffer to Stelios right now, so it doesn't really hurt him that much. Looking back on board the Williams and Ferraris, still tossing out for a chance to win this race. This race has kind of fallen into a bit of a DOS training, as it stands right now, with around 3 groups on track right now. Both, well, top JJ, Nico, and Different Union. Then you got the pair of the Mercedes, just DOS swapping each other, trying to gain time on the McLarens ahead. Voizo, Oren, and Sam just squabbling between themselves. Then Stelios and Sam just by themselves at the back on the medium strategy. Still has last in pit. Those mediums definitely might be worse for wear right now. That from Nico though, almost out of DRS, so he just about keeps with it though, so lucky for him. I don't think JJ will try and get a move on Frankie. I don't get how the DRS isn't that powerful for everyone. It seems like they're all just very spaced out across the entire straight, and no one seems to be able to make a move on each other. That's just the type of racing Qatar offers you. If Oren got past Woizo there, I think. Yeah, he must have. He's gonna get a drink. have returned, and it seems nothing much has happened. Of course. It's Qatar we're talking about. McLaren's did swap. There's Jayton's actually just outside DRS now from Nick. I don't know if he made a mistake anywhere or he just lost pace. They've pulled away from EXFL Norris though, 6 seconds with the DRS. Red Fire Tiger did decide to and get rid of the old hearts. He's doing a 2-stopper on those the double mediums, then it must be. Sour Drake Lee on the hearts might try and stretch it to the end, or he's doing a set of mediums to the end. Probably the pilot if he wants to hope not risk a puncture in that final lap. Yeah, apart from that, not much. It's kind of down to the strategy of these two kind of pulling the cards. Samuel Drake was net P5, or was P5 on that strategy. So we'll see where he falls out. Red, he was P6 as well. Now he's pulled pulled the plug on the undercut, so we might see some of the top drivers coming soon. Nick's used all his ERS there, same with McLaren batteries at an all-time low as JJ to the lead. However, he does dive down the inside of Frankie. Frankie didn't decide to use a lot of his ERS though. He has 56 in the bank as EXFL Norris now pulls in from the Mercedes. Silver Arrows make both of their stops. Let's see how much time Red Fire Tiger gains from them. Samuel Jake Lee will undercut both of them. As Red only coming across the final corner now as EXFL Norris is leaving the pits. So, yeah, Red Fire Tiger, championship leader, has lost a lot of time. I don't know if he made a mistake or something. He must have. Because just look at the time he's lost. He set the fastest lap of the race as well. And he's still 10 seconds off his teammate. Must have been. This is why you don't have T-brakes mid-race. He's 5 seconds off. And yeah, that's bizarre. Rather go back to the top. That's kind of split away though into 2 groups instead of, well, one big group. And yep, there goes Frankie. Used a lot of his ERS and kind of wasn't even noticing, but kind of forgot he had that much battery in use and make his move. As F1 Union now decides to go in, the leading McLaren of the pair. So F1 Nico decides to come back in as Voizo gets the 10 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I believe there's a glitch going around on the F1 games where that is a very common thing that catches a lot of drivers out now. So yeah, it could have just been he drove into the pit lane a bit too quick. Could have just been he been done over by the game. A lot of drivers have been by the last ends of the season. As Red Fire Tiger only just about comes out ahead of Voizo. So yeah, definitely something happened to that Mercedes. I will keep thinking about it the entire time of the race. Stelios is 5 seconds off of Voizo now. Well, the Alpine does have much better tyres. The Sauber will have much more warmer tyres, despite those hards being quite a long time to warm up. Just see as well how burnt and just worn down that front left is of both JG and Frankie. Just see all those little small little bits here and there of the front left of just how bad that tyre is. Both of them will finally come in on lap 18 here. Let's see, and Nick does come in as well. I think it will be quite risky for anyone else to even try doing one extra lap. Will Sam do it? Because I don't know. Here's Oren and Samuel Jake Lee still really fast far behind, as he will make a easy overtake on Oren. There goes Sam with the Irishman, and he will undercut the entire grid. So 10 laps left. He has 10 laps on those tyres. And the leaders did 18 laps on heavier fuel. Can Samuel Jake Lee go from last to first and hold those tyres out to the end? I'm probably overreacting to it, but can he do it? It would be such an amazing strategy if he pulled it off. I think that's someone retiring in the yellow flag. I think it was just Sam or Voizo, actually, I believe. No? One of the Alpines, I believe. There was a yellow flag there for a second. But yeah, a lot of things have crunched back up. F1 has undercut JJ, race leader. No, that wasn't even race leader. He was P2 at the time. So there goes Jaden into P2. Now he has Frankie just ahead of him to catch up to. Oren is in P2, so safety car right now would actually really help Williams. And Sam with leader. He's got 3 seconds though to I've had that on leader for ages. 3 seconds to Oren now. Yellow flag at Stelios going for a spin. This gets bad waves for the Greek man. Yeah, Frankie is really getting a sandwich leader. I think it's probably best if he does go into the pits as F1 Nico gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That's probably him set to 4th place in this race. As EXFL Norris gets the fastest lap though. He's actually quite close to F1 Nico because the undercut has worked wonders for the Mercedes. Not for the other one though. As he's probably still doing that 2-stopper. You can do a lot of different things with Ferrari now. F1 Newton is 1.4 off Frankie. What Ferrari could be doing is just DRS trading themselves to the flag. Which honestly doesn't seem that bad as Stelios peels off into the pits and retires. Such an unlucky race for him. He was having such a good time. Up in P5 could always been challenging these guys. He was really quick at the start of this race. Just an unfortunate spin kind of ruined all his efforts. And yeah, already Frankie into the DRS of Sam. And F1 has actually been gapped a bit by Frankie, so he might be a victim to DRS by JJ. F1 Nico is 1.9 away, so he's not close enough. The top 4 are the only ones with a penalty now, as the actual top 10 all in the, well, pretty much if you finish this race you get points. Sam does pit, unfortunately, so, oh, he does have a massive locker though, he just keeps it in. Oh yeah, the Ferrari couldn't take those tyres to the end. I was really hoping he could. Tyre wear that bad on the hard at Qatar, and there he goes on to mediums though. He will have a 2 to 3 lap advantage on guys ahead. So if tyre wear does kick in for the top guys, as Frankie with the penalty. Just caught on to that as Frankie does cut the inside line as there he goes. That's probably P3 for him. If JJ or F1 Union don't get a penalty in the last couple of laps, he did get past F1 Union. So this could be JJ's first race win of the season, albeit tyre wear now has to play a factor, and fuel. JJ clean slate as well. F1 Union has 1 warning, so yeah, it's looking awfully good for the Williams driver right now. Of course, that could all end with a little puncture here or there. Yeah, championship leader gets a gets a penalty. So things could all change now. 1.6 the gap to JJ though. Actually 1.7, he's actually losing time. So Frankie, if he actually pushes quite hard and Jaden battles a bit, Frankie actually has the fastest lap despite losing time. But, I don't know. Jaden could actually really put a spear in the back of JJ in hopes to get his first race win of the season. It's pretty much been JD racing at Frankie every time he's in the chance to win. Even with the penalty though, it seems awfully good for Frankie this season, this race, because, well, there's Sam getting past Sam. For P8, just kind of catch the end of that. And, he will still be getting points on red though, with 10 seconds off EXFL Norris. What has happened to red this race? He just lost so much. Didn't have a good qualifier, and now probably going to get overtaken by Boyzo. He does have 13. He does have that 13 seconds of pens. Don't want to say that one out loud because that's quite a scary thing to say. It's like saying Voldemort or something. Yeah, so, he does have quite a lot of pens to his name, does Boyzo, but even then he will get past the red fire tag on track. Yes, it doesn't have the same ERS he uses, but they do have Samuel Jack Lee right behind them though, with much better tyres, no pens, Everything else is what he needs, as it's just 1.9 2 seconds to the good. F1 Union not close enough though. No battery to use. So it's very, very slightly going back into Frankie's favour with that 3-second penalty. He needs 1 second in that's 7 laps. JJ is actually pulling away from F1 Union, so even then it's looking like it could just be 3 out of DRS of each other in the final stretch of this race. And so Samajagli 4.2 to Red for Tiger now. It's rapidly closing. He still has the penalty advantage that EXFL Norris gets another penalty. If we just do the math quickly, he wouldn't get close to EXFL Norris because he's 11 seconds to Woizo. So right now he'd finish P6. However, there's also 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. So 19 seconds to him now. He is doing the 2-stop. There goes the Mercedes. He couldn't make it to the end of those mediums, and now he can't make it to the end without 19 seconds of penalties. And that promotes Sandwich Lee to P5 on track, so probably the maximum he will be getting. And pretty much starting last hour will be a great damage limitation from us. So does Red Fire Tiger. Both of them do pit, and maybe he got a puncture at that very start of the race. He doesn't even opt for the softs. That is how scared they are of the tyre wear. As now P9 and 10 for Mercedes. It has gone so wrong for them. In the constructors fight, I think McLaren are still leading, or tied with Ferrari. They're very close together, those two. Papaya and Papaya versus Scarlet Red. 117 to 89. The Mercedes 80 points. They'll only be scoring 3 today. That is just insane, and it's just sad to see them kind of falling away. They might be victim to Williams at one point here. Oren having a decent race with P8. JJ, if he does keep that, hold on to that win, as he is right now, at least keeping it. Jaden is still there though. McLaren holding on. Track, he wouldn't actually be P2 on track right now. Even with Frankie's penalty, he does gain back up to time now, so now he would be. But as Frankie crosses the line, her gap is over 3 seconds to Jaden. It's 2.4 to JJ, so it's slowly getting there. It's actually getting much better for him. JJ's just losing a bit of time here and there. It is getting so close. F1 Union, even he can smell it too though. They're both pushing. Let's have another check on the warnings though. He does get a second one in there. Frankie's still up. JJ's still perfect. So if F1 Union isn't careful, he will get a second penalty. As he will be watching that white line really closely though. However, it's looking good for the 2.5. But there is a question though. Will his tyres last to the end though? He has probably been pushing them a bit hard. So it might be punctures still to play. It will always spice up the Qatar Grand Prix. So there's a corner cut, surely. Let's actually check on Frankie's corner cut warning. It says 1, there's 2, there's 3. Didn't actually get a warning there. So that's actually surprising. But it's 2.5 though. Qatar's have been quite lenient. 2.6, he's slowly doing it. This would be a great drive from Frankie, a true champion's drive. Doesn't matter about that penalty, and he will keep going. It's 2.4. He definitely has the has a different setup, but sure, because both of them. Seems like he was losing time on the straight, but then he gains time on the straight. F1 Union is still there though. If he really wants P2, he can get P2, but it's just the overtaking a Qatar seems to be quite a struggle for every driver here. And it's just going back to Mercedes though. EXFL Norris will get Oren, but Oren will probably hold on to that place because of penalties. There goes the Mercedes and the work Mercedes on the custom Mercedes car in Williams. Easiest move for the race. Sandwich likely. I was going to say if he pushed quite hard he can get Nico, but that's a 15-second gap in 4 laps. Would be quite the struggle. Boyzo gets 16 seconds at Benz. Ooh, as he almost has a spin for good measure. The gap kind of stabilising now, 2.5, 2.6 to JJ. Between Frankie and JJ. It seems like they're both... It seems like it's going to slightly be his way. Oh, that's a JJ running wide. Those tyres definitely seeing the end of their life. Sorry, we're joining team. But yeah, his fuel. Did you see that? You see that? Then his fuel is going. JJ is now slowly flickering away on fuel. So that Williams, that's probably why he isn't catching as much to JJ. He's slowly losing fuel. Running in clean air, he probably now needs Jaden to get ahead of him just to survive the end of this race. Again, fuel is another issue. Everything comes up to get you in these final couple of laps at Qatar. These cars are pretty much undrivable at the end, as Frost gets past Sam as well. He's having a slow but sure comeback. He will still fall at P9. Bradford Tiger will be last at the end of this race, gutting to see. But yeah, it's looking really dangerous now for JJ. Pole sitter led a lot of this race, battled over Frankie. As with 3 laps left, that fuel is on his, like, as close as he gets. Red gets another penalty. He won't be, well, nothing really affects him there. Might just try fastest lap because you may feel like it. Did JJ get a warning that last lap? He did get a warning that last lap. But it's fuel we need to worry about though. Definitely need to implement a bit more lifting because it's 2.8 though. It's a real dilemma for him now though. He has fuel to worry about, but he also wants to stay in 3 seconds of Frankie. It's 2.7, so we need to perfectly manage driving quick and saving fuel. It's now pretty much fully in red, so now it just comes up after the corners, but then back on after the power. It's literally 0.00 at the end of this race. It is as close as you can to using the entirety of that tank in the back of that Williams car, as it just seems very, very hesitant to enter. There's a penalty as well. JJ gets a 3-second time penalty, so that will be Frankie winning this race. Unless Jaden actually has a blistering final stint and final 3 laps. It's 3.5 to Frankie. So if he pushes quite hard, he can get it. But there's Frankie pretty much holding on to take that win, as JJ now probably wanting to put all of his efforts into tyre wear. Same with Jaden, probably. He is losing time to the Williams. As now it just seems like that's going to be a top 3 to end this race. Sam with Drake Lee though, still holding on. He's probably going to catch up to Woizo anytime soon. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the top 3, unless, as always, look at that though, Frankie also struggling on fuel. Now both of the top 2 are having issues with fuel, and you can see the gap starting to come back down. Who will win this race? This is starting to become quite the entertaining finish, as even with a penalty, even with tyres being an issue, even with the undercut, anything can happen. Jaden might be in the best position now. He's 3 point. Let's get the gap to lead. It's 3.4 to Frankie. He is on the bubble, and out of nowhere, you could see McLaren stealing a win in the Qatar Grand Prix. There goes Sam with Woizo. Easy move. And for Nico in his own little world in P4. Still a great race from the McLaren driver. As it's 2.5 though. 3.7 is the gap we should be looking at though, to Frankie and Jaden, as we will start the final lap though. JJ is still yellow on fuel. That Williams is going to be crawling across that line if he can't get that fuel down. Let's just look at his left and coasting. He will just cruise it through. He's still fighting though. The tyres starting to bite at him. 2.4 to Frankie, still 3.7 to F1 though. As F1 still has the fuel to go to the end. He hasn't even had any worries, the yellow fuel popping into the yellow. As there's red for Tiger ping for fastest lap. As now we start the final lap. Now Frankie's in the red. His fuel is flashing red. Same with JJ. His started flashing a bit sooner. It's 4 seconds to Frankie from F1 now. So Will Frankie hold on to take this win though? It is looking so close. He will lift a lot going into the first corner. He'll probably have to lift so much more. He downshifts aggressively though. It's 3.1 to JJ though, so JJ probably in a worse predicament than Frankie. As F1 Union though, still loving life though. He has no fuel to worry about. His light isn't even flashing. But Frankie is still. It's 2.9 to JJ now, so he has gained time, but he's lifting a lot though. He isn't even bothering to take the corner aggressively. Will that Ferrari make it to the end? It is going to be such a tight finish. There's Oren and Sam battling at the back, but this is the thing we need to look at. How good is Frankie at saving that fuel at the final couple of corners? As we now go into the final sector, as we have pretty much one braking point until pretty much a flat out section until the final lap of this race. It's 4 seconds, so he's pretty much hoping these two run out of fuel. JJ is so close. He's literally on the bubble. Frankie keeping it flat, downshifting to 6th even, so that's probably going to hit the fuel a bit more. But Frankie, I think he's just managed it well enough as the Ferrari comes around to the final corner. He has managed his fuel correctly. He's got the year out. He did the year out on JJ. He got the pass, and now Frankie, the championship leader, will extend his lead by again 24 points. JJ will just about pick up P2, but F1 Union on pens will steal it away. Nico there in a nice comfortable P4. Samuel Jake Lee with a nice comeback from last on the grid will keep it home to gate P5. I think as his fuel will just about keep it to the end. Voizo has a puncture, I believe, as he crossed the line there, maybe. No, he does survive it. EXFL of course, is a 2-stop. He will get there. Oren survives as well. No punctures at the end, actually. So, despite P2s, there's Oren, Sam, P6 and 7. The young rookies in this tier having a great race. There's Sam at the back of the EXFL at the end. And there's championship contender Red Fire Tiger. You'll get the fastest lap of the race, but 24 points again lost. He's lost 54 points, I believe. Wait, would it be 54? 25? Oh, 49, sorry. He's lost 49 points to Frankie in the last 2 races. The championship looks more and more in the hands of the Scuderia. And boys are actually DNF'd across the line, so that will put Red Fire Tiger in P10. However, that will be fast lap though. And that is the Qatar Grand Prix. Quite a dramatic end to the race. But, wow, that was a really, it started out very boring. However, it definitely got quite exciting in the end. There's Frankie coming across the line, doing his little funky dance. I believe that's his 4th podium in a row. We missed out on round 1 and then he's kept it going. And, oh, he had Stelios' wheel disconnected. That's why he spun. Horrible, That was quite a dramatic end to that race. It's such a strategic race. It's that and Bahrain really open your mind to using different strategies. As that is your Qatar Grand Prix as your race winner. Your fast lap did go to Red Fire. Your driver of the day and most overtakes, of course, going to Samuel Drake Lee. Yeah, the 2 young drivers, Sam and Oren. It's Sam P5 and Sam P6. Oren, Irish P6 and 7 too. Great race in the 2 drivers. EXFL Norris and Red Fire Tiger I believe that's 8 and 10. After Voizo's DNF, well, DNF across the line. Stelios, Logan, EXFL Josh Hewitt didn't make it to the end. And that was your race. It's gonna let me do the thing. Let me do the thing. Yeah, let me. It seems like I'm always inviting Frankie and Jaden to parties nowadays. Damn it, why doesn't it say I have fucking Frankie there? Damn it, where's the other one? Do I even have him added? I would hope I do. There he is. Alright then, let me just wait for the other people to join and they'll get your interview started.
No worries.
There we go. God, why I have to include my audio now? This is a new thing. Right. Gotta sort my heads out first. Fuck. Sort this. There you go. Alright, JJ, do you want to start with you since you finished third?
What's that word?
Alright, anyway. Do you want to start first, or
Yeah?
should I just hop over to... Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So, poll as well. Well. Anyway, pole, it was a great lap in qualifying. There goes Jane. Anyway, pole, it was a great lap in qualifying. I think it was over a tenth of a second on pole. And then in the last, I believe, 5-10 laps-ish, it was pretty much down to fuel saving.
Yeah,
just how worrying was it to try and lift and coast that car all the way home with the fuel and tyres and everything trying to catch you out at the end of the race?
yeah, it was just impossible. I burnt half of my fuel allocation in, I think, the first 5 laps or something. So the rest of the race just turned into fuel saving for me, which, I mean, you just can't push, unfortunately, like when you're fuel saving that much. So damage limitation, to be honest. I mean, when I got the penalty, I didn't even think it would matter because I thought F1 Union would just get me because of my fuel, but I still stayed ahead, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, there was I couldn't win that race without fuel, unfortunately. So podium's the best I could do. I mean, we still had a big gap to people behind us, so I guess that's still a positive. But yeah, nothing much I could really do. I just didn't think the fuel would be that bad. So this is a learning curve.
Yeah, and another thing, it was what was I going to say? It was a very tricky race because it seems like it was quite really hard to overtake people at Qatar. You headset time all the time, yeah. Sorry. Were you struggling with everyone else trying to get past? Was Qatar really that struggling of a track to make overtakes?
I mean, it's difficult to say because I didn't want to be in first because of my fuel. I wanted to stay in DRS. So, I mean, I wasn't really trying to overtake, so it's hard to say whether yes or no. But I guess it does seem a bit more difficult than other tracks, maybe. But then you do get a massive slipstream in the final sector, so I don't really know. It's hard to say. I mean, you might have to ask some of the others who maybe weren't fuel saving as much. Yeah, I can't really give you an answer, to be honest. I mean, I had higher wings, so maybe that would have hindered me a little bit, but I don't know. No clue.
Yeah. And just one or two more things. I think that might have been your third pole of the season, I want to say.
Fourth.
I think it was Australia to fourth, yeah. 4 out of 5 races. Which, is there a record for most poles in this season?
Yep.
I definitely feel like how it's going right now, you could get that. Jaden, could you be the record man?
Yeah, just give me a sec. Carry on, podium.
Loads up his massive booklet. And let me just get to the calendar. I wanted to just see what that would be into the end of the season. It is Imola next week, so we return to go to Europe. And how strong are you feeling about Imola, JJ?
Imola's one of my best tracks, so I'm quite confident there. I will ensure I put adequate fuel in my car this time around. But yeah, I mean, with the pole thing, it's nice getting pole. It shows the paces there. I'd rather be winning the races though. So I guess
if only we had points at pole.
Yeah, if only. But yeah, I mean, I think the pace has been there all season. I feel like I'm quicker than I was last game when I won the championship. So I feel like I can definitely still turn it around. It seems like every race I do at the moment, something goes wrong for me. I never really have like a normal race. I mean, a few of them have been my fault, a few of them haven't. So I guess I've just got to be a bit more cautious going into the races. But yeah, Imola should be good.
Yeah, it's always seems to be something catching the luck trying to get you out.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can only get better though. You know, the only way is up, pretty much. So yeah, a lucky race. Good luck for Imola. And now we hop over to Mr. McLaren. I think that's another. Oh, Jaden's not there, I think. But oh, there you are. It says you're in game chat for me. Just gonna see if he wants to switch that out. But anyway, I'll just continue. Blabber on. But yeah, another podium. Still looking good for your season in McLaren. And yeah, it's pretty much just laying back for the entire race. Just holding back with Nick, JJ and Frankie at the top. then the second half of the stint with JJ and Frankie. And when you saw that JJ got a penalty, did you also know that they were both struggling? Him and Frankie were both struggling with fuel, and you pretty much were the only one in the top three who didn't have fuel to worry about. Did you think you could win it with any chance of that fuel being cost anything to spice up the end of the race? Do you think you had hope going into the last couple of races or laps, or was it just?
He definitely didn't
left.
hear any of that.
Yeah, Booker just left, man. God. I know he's invited me to a party. I do.
That's disrespect on a different level. Huh?
Aye. God. Oh, I was in
Invite him
stride
back.
then.
What's he doing?
Yeah. Let's invite
just
him
didn't
back.
want to
It's
speak to
my
you.
party.
Ah.
Aye.
Oh yeah, I also got a
Hang
puncher
on.
which I didn't mention. That's not.
Oh, I saw the
Oh,
gap go up on the
really?
last corner. I thought
Yeah.
you did.
I got it in the start of sector 3.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Then how did you...
I had quite a lot of battery. It's flat out in it, so it's not really too
Actually,
bad
better
until.
than me.
Alright, seems Jake's having like party issues, so I'll try to join his party and then just invite you along, Frankie. Or
Yeah.
if you want to join as well, JJ, feel
Ah,
free.
no, I didn't. Go ahead.
Alright. God, seems someone doesn't like gin. The nerve to invite me to interviewing. God. Anyway, I think they were fine. JD just did his. I was actually full questioning you, and then you just left midway through. Is it? Oh, my screen's frozen. Fucking hell. Right. Did it? Hopefully, the audio of the pie is sorted itself out. Xbox being geniuses. Right.
Oh, my order
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is it working? Yes. Finally. God, thank you, Xbox. You genius,
Party's
brilliant
open, by the way,
masterminds.
so just
Billion.
in case. A
Oh.
billion-dollar company and this shit.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted by Microsoft, you were, it was pretty much just hanging back for the entire race. You got to save pretty much a lot of fuel, probably just coasting back behind, I believe it was Nick, George, and Frankie at the start. Then the undercut got you back into P3. Well, I think you swapped just before that as well. And yeah, did you know that Frankie and JJ were both really struggling with fuel at the last couple of laps? Did you?
Not at all.
Did you had any chance, inkling? No?
I just
Not a
thought they
single,
were trying to save
like-
their tyres like I was, even though I was a lap younger, so they didn't really need to.
Hmm.
I mean, older, so they didn't really need to.
Well, yeah, it was quite a struggle, but the undercut seemed to help you massively, though. I think you undercut JJ the first stint, and
Yeah, Nick made a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, he was doing really well following for the first however many laps. It was just us four, and then James and Frankie were swapping. So I even told Nick, I don't think I could have done what he did in the first 7 laps. He was really good, and then he just started making a few mistakes. His pretty, the message when you get your TV's going to turn off he had that in the
Oh, the
he
standby
had that in
thing.
the 3 right-handers, so we lost a bit of time there.
Oh, that's
But then he made a
disgusting.
mistake turn 1, so I went ahead. I was negotiating with him. I was like saying, right, I'm going to pit 1 lap before you. If I undercut you, I'll give the place back at the end. But then he made that mistake, so I got ahead anyway. And then yeah, I pitted.
You got 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah, and then I pitted, and then yeah, I managed to undercut James and
Mm.
yeah, behind Frankie. But then Frankie got some DRS. I did not. So yeah.
Yeah. Even then, though, even without knowing about like tires or fuel, like both of them had 3 seconds ahead,
Mm.
and there was a time where that gap was like 3.5. Even though you had worse tires, even then was there like a inkling of, hey, maybe I can win this, or was it just always just set on securing either P3 or P2, just bring home a podium?
I mean, when I was second and saw Frankie got a 3, I was thinking maybe I can win. Work with James. And then James got a 3, but by then, I mean, the gap was like 2 points something, so I was with it, and then Frankie just had the pace to pull away, and I was just not quick enough. I was struggling to keep with James, and if he was fuel saving, then clearly I didn't have the pace. So I mean, at least I got one of them, and I'm happy with second. Considering this is Frankie's best track, it was going to take a lot to beat him today, so I'll take second. I think I'm like 33 behind now in this thing, but I mean, we're only a quarter of the way done, so long way to
Could
go.
get past Red now, though.
I'm ahead of Red.
with
He
well,
finished
pretty much
10th today.
1 point in 2 races.
Yeah.
It's not going well for him, but it's probably music to the ears of our race winner, Frankie.
Oh, hello.
I think that's brilliantly moved along there, and I think that's 2 for 2 from the last 2 races. Race winner. Well, one last week, one this week, and that's 3 races this season. I believe you won.
Indeed.
So, yeah, looking like one of the best seasons you've had already. And what was I going to say? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, just how even just then, seeing how Red was just so far off. How happy is it just seeing him far off? Even though obviously you don't want anything happening. Shit. Even he's your closest champion rival. It must feel good just seeing whoever's closest to you just struggle, just even get closer again.
Brilliant. You know, I just sit there after qualifying and I'm thinking to myself, I was under 2 tenths off James, which was good, and I realised I was starting second. So it was really good. And then you see Red Fire Tiger down, and where was he, like 9th or 10th or something? And I saw that
In the wrong car too.
in the wrong. Yeah, that was an interesting one.
in the wrong
Yeah,
car
can we
too.
just
10th
throw
was the
Cody a
surprise.
massive shout out for having to restart the lobby, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
an idiot.
and I got to drive. So if you didn't restart the lobby, I would have been in an Aston Martin. So
Yeah.
lucky me.
Maybe you could have won, really, and you never know.
Yeah, God, I would have been the quicker Aston Martin of the 2. No offense to Will, but
I'm sure he won't take
trying to make
offense.
Uncle come out of his seat.
No, but yeah, it was just
He
good.
wasn't even the first to get a
It
penalty.
was good to see Fire down there. It made me realise. Well, I don't really think about the championship that much until later, of course. So I'm just happy to win another race. That is 3 of 5 now. I don't think this definitely the best start I've had to a season. 4 podiums and a 4th. It's like you look at that and you think, well, that's really good. But Qatar, Japan, Bahrain, Saudi, they're 4 tracks that I'm very good at. Imola's next.
So you're
I'm
an
not
Asian,
good at
Asian,
Imola.
pretty
I'm
much.
an Asian. I guess I am.
VSC.
But yeah, Ferrari's home race though, so you gotta get something going.
Yeah, well, I'll leave that one to
back-to-back
Samuel.
home races for Ferrari because we've got Imola then Monza.
Oh, I'm good at Monza. I'm not good at
I'm
Imola.
saying-
Samuel needs to carry me.
Frankie needs another VSC. What was it? Season X. God, that's
yeah.
such a help. Yeah. Oh, and well done,
yeah.
Frankie. You now equal me on wins. So 13
Oh, come on.
each.
Come
Yeah,
on.
that's pretty cool.
With how many races of a
Shut up.
disadvantage?
The guy's on
How many
fire.
races have you done, Jaden? Just as a whole.
I'm not the one being interviewed now.
Oh, okay. Let's just hop back over to the race. Yeah, same with Frankie. Those last couple of laps must have just been really just not Frankie, fucking JJ. Sorry. Same with JJ. The last couple of laps must have been really tenseful, just trying to carry that car home. What was your fuel at the end as well? Because it was like started flashing like 1 or 2 laps to the end. That must have been like quite scary to see like possibly running out of fuel at the final lap.
Yeah, well, it was lap 25 where it just dipped, or lap 20, at the end of lap 25, it just, or 26, it dipped into the reds. And I'm sat there thinking to myself, well, it was at that point James got 3 seconds and Jaden was about 3.7 behind me. So I was just like, well, if I do a couple of big lifts a lap, like into turn 1, I did like a 100-meter lift, and it just seemed to solve everything. Because I had minus 0.3, then I did a lap whilst lifting, and I was still at 0.03. So it was just quite easy. I was able to keep the pace quite high. Because on the mediums, I did seem a bit quicker, so it was just nice to be able. I didn't really worry about it too much. I worried though when I got my 3 seconds. I didn't get told I got any of my warnings. I had what James had in Japan.
Oh yeah.
And that also meant I couldn't see my speed going into the pit lane. There must be like some bug with the notifications at the top of my screen. So it was really scary because I was like, oh, James is only like 1.6 behind me. I've got a 3 second. I need to gap him. I didn't know he had low fuel. I just assumed I was quicker than him, which I probably was anyway in the race. Humble as always, but yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
So it was a real championship champions drive though. Having a 3 second, not really worrying about it, and just putting your head down, pulling away. Got up to, I think it was like 3.4 or even 4 seconds at one point. Of course, JJ was saving fuel, but yeah, just a really strong drive, and just congratulations again. I think that's most wins in the season for anyone right now. Beats Reds 2, and I think that's 49 points gained in him in the last 2 races, and it definitely will be having a strong championship lead going into the Italian leg of the season. And Ferrari leading still. They're probably ahead of McLaren.
Wherever he's 14
last to 5th.
To 5th, yeah. Well, his first lap was really good, and then he started in the medium. And I just told him like, you're probably not going to get above 5th anyway if you stay out and do the medium hard, because the medium hard at that track is like 10 seconds slower. So I told him to do a 2-stop, and he got the same pace. Maybe he would have caught to Nick. I'm not really sure what the gaps were or how much time, but Nick seemed fairly quick in the first instance compared to he has been in the past at some other tracks. So yeah,
the average
maybe,
F1 22.
But it's good from Sam to maximise everything. I'll need him to carry me next week. I might not see you again next week, really, because I'm not very good at him.
No.
Sam got
prayers up.
He got up to 6, and then he was like 2.1, then 1.3, then I think it was 0.9. I was 4th, by the way, in the train. So he got to 0.9 behind me, but then his mediums died. So then it went 1.0, 1.3. And then he pitted lap 8, so I was like, well, he's definitely doing a 2. So I don't know with a 1-stop, to be honest. I don't know if he really would have, like you said, got any higher than 5th.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened in quali, but...
Just didn't finish lap.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Before I'm going to end the stream, I do want to give smaller shout-outs for the pretty much the newer drivers of the tier. I think Sam and Oren got P7 or 6 and 7, I believe, with after pens, or 7 and 8, I believe. It's either one or the other. So yeah, another great race from Sam. I think it was P5 at Australia as well. So he's slowly having a decent season. Oren, I believe, had first points of the season, where he didn't finish the race on a set of whites.
Oren
finished the race at least.
11th or 12th in Australia. Oh no, I finished 11th. Oren finished 12th or 13th.
Yeah, and Stelios as well had a great qualifying, started to 5th. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Qatar Grand Prix. Shall see you all next week at Imola.
Bye.
Bye.